Hello, hello, hello. It is Phil. It's solo writing here on Board TV. If you didn't know, there was an update to Board Ape Yacht Club's roadmap, and we're getting into the sewer. We also had mutant hounds revealing, and some fire hounds already have been shown. We had applied primate engineering with a big long thread and a bunch of information, but really today was an exciting day. Also, if you're traveling, I hope you got to where you need to be, because some of the airlines, the entire nation was down for a bit. And I know my sister and her husband were headed to Belize, and they were not able to get there on time because of the airfare. So I'm running this solo tonight. If you want to come on and jump in with some comments, please feel free. I'm going to take us through the roadmap. We're going to do a quick stream tonight, about 30 minutes or so. And I'm excited. I'm excited. So off the rip, I guess let's jump into mutant hounds a little bit. Mutant hounds are they're calling it like a layer 2 of the Board Ape Yacht Club, not official, but obviously Lior, if you know who Lior is, he's a goat in the space. Him and the team of Mutant Cartel have had dropped these mutant hound collars, and the reveal started today. And the mechanics are super cool, because what you're doing is you're taking your collar and you're choosing when to burn it, which is really, really interesting. There's some game theory there as well. And up to this point, there's been some really, really cool hounds that have been shown. The art is high class, 1000%. And so let's go ahead and jump into that slightly. We'll share a couple of the ones that I saw, and go directly to their Twitter feed. So as you look at the mutant hounds, and again, if you want to follow along on Twitter, it's at mutant hounds. There was just be careful when you're following any tweets, etc. Just because there's always scams around this time when there's a a reveal happening or a mint. Just remember, do not FOMO. There's never stealth mints. Bad teeth. Shout out to the homie. This guy is got that gold fur, got the angel wings, super dope. Obviously, one thing that people have pointed out is just that the art is so detailed. The backgrounds as well. Lots of times, I would say a lot of PFP projects, the background is not as detailed. You usually have a solid color, but what they did here, I mean, it's super interesting to see the different board Jimmy YC. I don't even know who that is. The different types of backgrounds they have. This is a demon eye ghost. I really like the ghost fur, where you can see the skeletal structure. And then this is looks like it's one of the one-of-ones that's not a mega mutant hound. Really rad. I don't even know what the skin is called. It kind of looks like a root system, because it's got the crow on the top, and they're getting some big offers already. Hawk, what's good? She minted all 10 of hers, or revealed all 10, I should say, which is very proper degen work. You've got the Mutant Cartel. Here's the double merch hound. So as you see, a bunch of different varieties. This is the little intro for the Mega collar, which one sold today for, I believe it was 79 ETH. This morning, I think it was about 9 o'clock this morning, my time. So you've got some with kennel clubs in their mouths. Not sure how I feel about that. We don't want to kill the poor doggies. You got the wolf fur, but needless to say, there is the art is fire, and I'm interested to see what they do. I have one of the mutant collars. I probably should have minted more than that. I just lost track of the timing, to be honest. I minted my one for having my mutant, and then they had opened it up a little bit later, so I think you could mint up to 10, and I should have done that. The art is cool. The team is really cool. I got to listen to a bunch of their team talk through some of the things that they're looking forward to and talking about the art, etc., as I was making my drive up to South Dakota this past weekend and back. So a lot of listening to the radio, 11 hours both ways. And it was cool to hear the team. They definitely are dialed in, and they're ready to build, because the whole thing for them was that they wanted to, again, it's not an official Yuga project, but what it is a bunch of holders that wanted to create something that's even deeper. So they're tapped into storytelling for sure. The art is important to them. And really, this is just the start of their Mutant Hounds collection. And it kind of sounded like there will be more collections coming potentially, and we'll see what that looks like. So that was one of the big news things today, was you could start to burn your collars. I do have one, and I probably will burn the one I have when I get off the stream. Shout out to Baron, Von Hustle, if you know who the Baron is, I'm sure you do. He got a super fire, literally on fire hound. Really, really, really dope. Again, one of those that looks like it might be a one of one that's not a the mega mutant. So there's mega mutant collars, and then there's mutant collars, but some of the mutant collars can also be one of ones, which is cool. So be interesting to see what that looks like. Definitely, they've talked about going into the other side as well, which is exciting. And on that note, just a reminder, the next other side trip, so the second trip is going to happen in March, which maybe seems like a long time from now. But to be honest with you, I always feel like this time of the year goes really, really fast as you begin, you begin a new year. So excited for that. Let's get a little tunage going. So again, let's go ahead and dive into the sewer, literally. So my first thoughts on the sewer, so I'll pull up the screen here in just a second, is it is gamified, which is not surprising at all. We had kind of been talking about that. We figured that it would be some sort of gamified experience, and it reminds me of when we had the mobile game where you had the different prizes. And to be fair, I am not a gamer anymore. I don't know if I ever was like a great gamer. I enjoy playing games, but I'm definitely not a gamer. So my one thing that I was interested to see was when they talk about the tiers, I thought, we were kind of speculating, spitballing. We thought maybe that's like a time frame that you can go into the sewer and play the game. And again, we were just speculating that it would be a game. And I thought that would be neat because, the tier 4 maybe would get like 4 hours and the tier 3 would get 3 hours and so forth. Well, what we found out today is that it'll be, again, an interactive mint, literally jumping down into the sewer. And as you see here, Jimmy's atomic shit has ripped a hole in the space-time continuum, and now he's passed out on the toilet. And so we're looking for, of course, the key, because we need to get into the very important box. And the only way to do that is through the BAYC sewers. And what we found is that this is going to be open for, I think it was 3 weeks. And so the tiers for that does not matter. The tier system, it gives you a better chance of getting a better revealed goodie, I guess is what I'll say. So you see here, to get into the sewer and ever closer to Jimmy's butthole, you'll need a sewer pass, which every BAYC and MAYC holder can claim for free starting January 17th. So that's next week. Anyone with a sewer pass will be able to play even if you don't hold an ape. So what that means, and they also doubled down and said this via Twitter, I saw a few people talking about, is that those passes will be tradable. So that's the next thing, is like, what do we think that price point looks like? Do we feel like a tier 4, the highest tier, does it go over an ETH? I don't even know what to think. So, and just a reminder, for tier 4, you have to have a Bored Ape and a Kennel Club. So then it looks like there's a little bit of what the game will look like. And I'll be honest with you, it looks like it's going to be hard, naturally. And so you're obviously, the further you go, the better the reward. And you're trying to collect things as well. And you can see some of those things in there as well. You see some looks like potions, or I don't even know what the different pieces are that you're trying to collect. So on January 18th, which again is a week from now, the sewer opens and there's a lot of crap in there, literally. The hole in space-time flooded the sewer with powerful cosmic fragments. So you're trying to collect those. This is skill-based mint. The longer you survive and the more fragments you pick up, the higher your score and greater your reward. So that's where my first little thought. I love how creative Bored Ape is. They always are. And I'm not surprised that it's gamified. It's, how do I say this? It's a little tough if you have a job you actually have to go into, like you're not remote, to think that, I don't know how much time I'll be able to play. And I'm going to need as many hours as possible because I'm going to be tragic at this game more than likely. And so I'm kind of curious on people's thoughts on that. There's definitely an advantage to being able to play more. You get more chances, right? It's just like I coach basketball, and the more shots you take, the more you can make, naturally. So that's my thoughts, like my initial thoughts. I was like, oh man, like I have shitty luck on these things too, but I kind of was like, well, I wish it was sort of lucky, but it looks like it's going to be skill based. So I need to start working on my skills. You'll get 3 weeks to play as many times as you want. So that was something we were trying to decide if we thought that maybe it was going to be limited or a time frame. No, it's 24/7. So if you remember the mobile game, it meant a lot of people not sleeping or eating for days on end and weeks on end. So we'll see how that goes. Players will be rewarded based on their performance in the sewer, When the sewer closes, the leaderboard freezes after scores are validated. Eligible sewer passes will prepare for the summoning, and the highest score gets the key, the all-important key. And then you have Gary here, which I found this graphic to be hilarious. The summoning. Gary's been studying the box and comparing notes compiled from forgotten archives. He thinks conditions are right to perform a summoning ritual that will bring an incredible power source from another dimension into the world. And so he's watching us in the sewer. And on February 15th, the eligible sewer passes can participate in the summoning. Your best score will determine what it reveals. So obviously you can go through it a bunch of times, but the best score is all that matters. Then you have this tier 1 to 4. You have the mint pass, the interactive skill-based mint. Then it says minigame set 1, and then you have either minigame set 1 to minigame set 2, or you combine with a kennel club, which is the dog, which I have a dog with my Bored Ape. Know the score, what you need to know about how to get the most out of your skills and reap the benefits. You can get more details. They have an FAQ here as well. And so again, a reminder, you can go to mdvmm.xyz to get obviously all of these details and all the other things that have been revealed thus far on the roadmap. Every sewer pass is tiered. We've talked about that. And so each tier has a point bonus. The higher your tier, the bigger your bonus and the bigger your chance for a better reward. They did say skill matters, of course. And it's all about how long you can survive on the run. Numbers on the board. The best of the best score gets the best of what Gary summons. If there is a points tie, that honor will go to the player who got the highest score first. So again, it's like a FOMO thing. Try to get that highest score as fast as you can. And then this was the interesting part. We talk about syncs for Ape Coin for those of us that are staking, or maybe you just hold some Ape token. Maybe you aren't in the Yuga ecosystem, but you are part of the Ape Coin DAO potentially. Before a run, you'll be able to buy a power-up pack, a trio of boosters that last for 10 minutes from purchase for 2 Ape. So for 2 Ape, which is approximately like what, $10 or so, $8, power-up packs are totally optional. More on this to come when the sewer opens. So it sounds like, I mean, if you can use them multiple times on a trip, I don't even know like how, like, here's a question. How long is going to be like the longest run? Like, is somebody going to be running for like 30 minutes? Like, is that even possible? Or does it come to a point where it's just like, it's literally like expert level and you can't go any further? So again, they say it's almost time. Until then, check the FAQ. And you can also go into the BAYC Discord. And again, the FAQ is under the official news Yuga site. So make sure if you haven't gone there yet, you've got to pick a photo or a picture, and you got to pick a phrase to make sure that it's a legit site. And that's something they did to counteract scam attacks via Twitter. And we saw another one. Was this yesterday or the day before? I don't know. This week, though it's only midway, it feels like it's been like 73 days. Chimpers had their Twitter taken over by scammers. So here's just another like friendly reminder is there's not going to be stealth mints. That is not something that's going to happen from a legitimate project. They're not going to randomly say, hey, got to go now, go mint this thing. It's 0.03. If it's too good to be true, it's definitely too good. Think about it, ask friends. And then on the Yuga front, always make sure you go to the official news website to ensure that you obviously are getting the correct information. So again, exciting day. I'll pull up Applied Ape Engineering Applied, because again, they had a thread that they posted today. And again, for them, it's a lot about puzzle solving. I'll be honest with you, it's been something that I've kind of watched from afar, but I've been interested. They've been loosely tied in. There were some calls to Applied Primate Engineering. Sorry, not Applied Ape. Applied Primate Engineering. There was some call to them when you went to Miami Art Basel. They had some I think stickers and stuff on the photo booth, but who knows if that was fans? I assume probably it was. So let's go ahead and jump into this thread. And then if you have questions and you're on the stream, I see there's a couple people there. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. Again, solo ride tonight because some travel with the other 2 gentlemen today. So I wanted to still go live because I was excited today. I was super excited, and I'm super excited seeing a lot of art revealed. I'm super excited to pretend like I know how to play this game. But last but not least, let's go ahead and jump into the applied primate engineering. So again, this is just on their Twitter. This was a thread that they posted this morning, 10 o'clock my time, 10:30. And so again, it's applied primate. It says welcome scientist, and it's really a detailed thread, to be honest. I read it earlier this morning, and basically saying like how they started and where they're going. And they talk about this radioactive mega. So for those of us that don't know, this group of applied primate engineering has a few of the mega mutants that are helping drive the storyline, which is super, super cool. We saw some of them at Ape Fest as well as Mutant Cartel too has those loose ties with Yuga, of course. So they talk about, if you're at Ape Fest in New York City, they revealed the gold mega mutant. And so that kind of takes us through there. It says Doc arrived just in time to see a figure in a hooded robe drink the mega serum, and watched helplessly as Avila's body morphed into a golden mega mutant. So again, if you were at Ape Fest, it was really legit. It was really, really cool. They had it on the video boards. And again, that was part of applied primate engineering. In the wake of these commonalities, Doc sought out to expand his team. And so they had these applied primate key cards. You can still get them on OpenSea. I'll check the floor currently is at, it looks like 0.8. So you can still go get a key card if you want to jump in to this community of applied primate. Newly onboarded scientists were first tasked with traveling to the world to secure necessary data to rebuild Ape Bot. So again, this was a little comic that they had posted and revealing a Ape Bot or a robotic ape that's going to protect them. The minds at Applied Primate had managed to build the first ever mega robot. And so again, if you've seen the megas, this is also a mega mutant that they own, and obviously the robot is as well. And then you saw the tie-in with Jenkins Valet, which I thought, again, it's fun to see all these, I'll just call them layer 2 off of Yuga projects, just like tying together and really concentrated on storyline. For those of us that don't know, Jenkins was one of the first. They actually got funding from Bored Ape, because Bored Ape did that. Like, that was a long time ago. That was shortly after they minted out. They did this funding round, not a funding round. It was like a scholarship, if you will, that you could apply to get some money to help, your own project. And so Jenkins was one of the first. And now you have Applied Primate tying in with that. And I think you really will see Mutant Cartel and Mutant Hounds also tied in. So mixed in with the lore has been a string of puzzles, comics, and other interactive community-driven elements. We are truly appreciative of our growing Applied Primate community and are eager to watch it grow as we roll out so many exciting projects in 2023. And then they talk about safety reminders, lab coats, and goggles always required on lab premises. We don't do surprise mints. Again, they do not do surprise mints. No legitimate project does surprise mints. We are not affiliated with Yuga Labs, although their creativity, work ethic, and innovative Web3 ethos endlessly inspires and guides our world. There's so much more to come. We'll add to this thread as we continue fighting for all ape kind throughout 2023. So again, it was a thread to kind of catch us up on the details for those of us that maybe were a little bit less tuned in, which I would put myself in that boat. I've been watching from the sidelines a bit, but again, another surprise, story-driven NFT project that is just doing a great job of trying to expand really the Yuga storyline outside of what Yuga is doing. And so with that, I'm excited to see what is happening inside Yuga Land. Naturally, that is my biggest play in the space. Not that I have big bags, but I'm excited about the roadmap. I wanted to take a quick look. I'll jump over here for the one last thing before I wrap it this evening. And that's taking a look at Other Deeds, because I think it's an interesting play. This is not financial advice, of course. Do your own research, but we've been hanging about 1.5 as a floor price for a while. And man, the more I think about it, I feel like every time I listen to someone talk about Other Deeds, I have a different thought on what I should be getting. I will be honest, I've had major FOMO on Codas. And so if you look at the Coda floor currently, let's see, about 13 Ethereum. That's interesting right here. It's an interesting one. I actually like that one. So Luster is always interesting to me. You also have the chemical goo, as you can see underneath. So 12.9. I think, man, I really want, I would love like 4 codas. And I think that's, I don't know if it's a risky play, a smart play, or a silly play, but I've definitely considered, I have 2 bored apes. And I've considered selling one to get some more codas and maybe stay a little more liquid. I don't know if that's a smart play or not. So I think other deeds to me, I think it depends on what you want to do with it. If you're someone, I think there's a lot of ways that you're gonna be able to play this game. Obviously resources are going to matter, and so if that's going to be your play and you want to be able to potentially collect and sell resources, I think you'll want to have more lands. But I don't necessarily think this the environment tier necessarily matters. That's like how built up it is. You can see here, like this is a level 1, and then if we go, I should just go to that same, my computer is super slow. Let's just go back here for just a second. We'll go to the ruins so we can see the differences. You'll see it right away. It's visually pretty easy to check if maybe OpenSea is breaking or my internet is unbelievably slow. So as you see, as they go up, you got, this is 1, this is 3. They get a little bit larger. I don't think that'll matter. I think I would just be focusing solely on the resources if that's your play. And I think the more of those plots you could have, and the more wide variety of resources you could have, the better. I did hear someone talking about they were focused on one resource and one resource only, because their thought was, their play was, they're going to be like the kingpin of that specific resource, which I found was super interesting. If you're someone that wants to develop games on your plots, potentially the environment size, the tier, should maybe be something you look at. I've always thought, and I could be completely wrong, I know that they're built up naturally, but I've always thought that like the larger, so the 5s might just be like actually larger as well. And you can see right off the rip when you look at these, I mean, way more developed. And we also saw in some of the information from a couple of weeks ago that building on the other side is going to be dummy proof for dummies like me, so that I can have tools to make it easy for me to do things that are maybe a little bit more simplistic. But then there's also going to be those that are really into game building and shaping and crafting things. There's going to be more detailed tools for you. So I'm curious if, you can choose to leave yours blank, or is this have to be, like, do they always start it here and then you can chip away at the stones, etc. I'm just, there's like so much to like unpack. And I think that's what, I don't know. I think that's the best part about Yuga. And some people joke that they keep you on the edge of your seat and they never show you everything. Like they never show you all the cards. But I think it actually is just, they're great storytellers. And I think sometimes that is keeping some of the cards to yourself and knowing which cards to play. And so I'm excited about 2023. I'm excited about a lot of things that are tied or at least touching Yuga. Tomorrow, I'm excited to see what 10K TF pops out. There's been some rumblings that people think that recycling will be done tomorrow, which I think is a decent guess. People have also started talking about season 2. What does that mean? We've seen some storyline from a couple weeks ago when we saw the trailer with what looks like Wagmi-san driving through Bone Stone or whatever the hell that environment's called. That's the other side. There's just so much like mystery and wonder. And I think that's the best part, because think about when we're kids. I mean, I watch my son play and it's like, it's all about mystery and wonder and creating a universe that's not real. And so I think that's what we're doing here with all these different projects that are focused on story building. And that's just what I'm here for. And so I'm curious to see where we're headed. Of course, I'm curious to see what my mutant hound is. I think as soon as I tune out on this, I will, I think I'll burn the collar and see what I got. I will be honest, I don't have very good luck on mints, but I think this is worth it. I have my one, and I want to see what it looks like. See what I might be riding around on the other side. We've seen Rita has done some, I think that's how you say your name, RIDA. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. Him and Bailey are both just like popping out so much amazing content and showing like sculpting of 3D items. And Rita had done like where it was a bored ape riding on one of the hounds in the other side. And I think that's closer than you think. So 2023, I'm feeling very Yuga-ish. I'm feeling very ape-ish. If you want to come on to Board TV and talk, starting next week, we'll be having guests appear again. We'll probably play the sewer game live at least a couple times, because why not, right? You can see how terrible we are. We might be like last on the leaderboard, but it's an exciting time. It's a power source. A lot of people are talking about mecha apes. Probably a pretty damn good guess. But I guess we'll see here over the next month. So again, if you want to come on Board TV at any point, you can DM us on Twitter. It's just at Board TV. You can ping us on YouTube. You can comment. Leave us as many notes as you got. You can also follow myself. It's Fibaka, Phibacka 31 on Twitter. And we also have Will and Bryce that are the two brothers that couldn't make it today. So with that, I'm going to sign off and say thanks for tuning in. It's an exciting time in NFTs. It's an exciting time in Web3. Step outside your comfort zone. You have something to give. I can promise you that. If it's being a great community member, if it's hosting spaces, if it's creating content, if it's being an artist, everybody's got something that they can give. And I challenge you in 2023, let's find what that secret sauce is that you can bring to Web3 to make it even that much better. So with that, this is Board TV. This is Phil. We love you, and I'm out.